Alright then gang, so the first thing that we're going to do is look at how to create some basic simple animations. Now to do that we'll be working here inside the home component and we're just going to try animating the text, the button and also this div which surrounds everything as well. So the first thing we need to do is to import something from the Framer Motion library. Remember, we installed the Framer Motion library at the start of the last tutorial, and it was this library right here, Framer Motion. That got installed when we said npm install. So now we can just import something from it, and that something is Motion. So I'm importing Motion from the Framer Motion library. Now the way this works is that if we want to animate an element, we make it into a motion element, and that basically means that we just say motion dot whatever element it is, and then if that element has a closing tag, then we say motion dot at the end as well. Now this returns to us a new motion component which will still be in H2 when it's rendered to the DOM, but now it comes with some extra abilities that we can use to animate this element. So how do we do that? Well, all we need to do is add on an animate prop. So I could say animate is equal to something, and it's going to be something dynamic, hence the curly braces. Now inside this animate prop we need to pass an object, and this object is going to represent the different properties of this H2 that we want to animate. So for example, I could say that I want to animate the font size to be 50 pixels. We don't need to say pixels, we can just say 50. Framer Motion figures that out. And that means that now, when this component first loads, it's going to see this animate prop and it's going to animate this to be this size. So if I save this and come over here and we'll go to the home page, we can see that straight away we get that animation to this font size. Okay? So this is basically just animating a CSS property, except that this is camel case. We don't use hyphens like we would in CSS. We use camel case for words instead. So we can pass in a load of different CSS properties inside this object, and it's going to animate each one of those. So I could also animate the color, which will be a hex code, and I'll just say hex, and this is FF2994. So if I save this now, come over here and refresh, you see animate the size and the text color. Alright, so what if I want to move this around on the page? Well, what I could do is use an X and a Y property. Now, these are not CSS properties. We don't say X and Y in a CSS rule, so these are more convenience properties added to the Framer Motion library for us. And this basically just translates the element to the left or the right. The Y property would translate it up or down. So if this is a positive number, it's going to go to the right. If it's a negative number, to the left. And if the Y is a positive number, it means it's going to go down. And if it's a negative number, it's going to go up. So let me just test this out. I'm going to say X is 100. Save that and come over here. And we can see it moves to the right a little bit. And if I say that Y is going to be minus 100 and save that, then we should see it move up a little bit. Let me refresh, and we can see now it animates to this position as well as the color and the font size. Awesome. Okay, so let's try animating something else. I'm going to try animating the button. So again, remember we need to add motion in front of the button there and also in the closing tag. So I'll alt click there as well and say motion dot. Now we get a motion button and we can add on the animate property. Now, what I'm going to do is put these props on the next line because they can get quite long and it makes it more readable the more props that we have. So I'm going to do that down here as well. Come to the next line and say animate, set that equal to an object. And inside here, I'm going to say the scale will be 1.5. Again, this is not a CSS property. It's a Framer Motion convenience property. So we can add CSS properties, but also these convenience properties as well. Now, this is going to make it 1.5 times bigger when we first load the page, and we can see that right there. Cool. Okay, so now let's do this div at the top. Again, we need to do motion at the start and the end. So motion.div and the opening tag and the closing one. Then I'm going to come to the next line and say animate and set it equal to an object. Now inside this one, I'm going to say margin top is going to be 200. So it's going to bring it down a little bit and animate that. Let me save it and preview. Now we can see it go down. And I'm also going to say the opacity is going to go to 0.2. So it should only be very slightly visible on the screen. Save that, and we can see now the opacity is animated as well. And then finally, I'm going to add another property that is going to be rotate, and then it's going to be around the Z axis. Now, the Z axis is the axis that goes into the page, and I'm going to rotate it around that by 180 degrees so that it should be upside down. So let me save that and come over here, and now we can see it's rotated downwards like that. So hopefully now you can see how easy it is to animate properties of our elements. And I get that this isn't great and we wouldn't animate anything this way. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to actually animate these different things. So the important things to remember are, first of all, that we import motion from frame motion. Then we add motion dot to whatever element that we want to add motion to. If it's a self-closing tag, just add it at the start since there's no closing tag. Then we use the animation property inside, and inside that we can pass an object, and that object is basically CSS property and value pairings, as well as the convenience properties that we've seen right here that frame motion adds. Now before we finish, I'm just going to delete the H2 motion property completely because I don't actually want to animate this in the future. I was just using that to demo a point, so let's get all of this on one line again. And I will keep the animate prop there, but I'm going to delete the object inside of it so we can work from a fresh in the future, and the same for the button, so that now we shouldn't have any animation. Oh, in fact, we get a problem. Let me just put an empty object into these. It's complaining that we don't have one. So let me save that. Okay, there's no animation, but in the future now we can come to these different elements and animate them.